All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a second. Before we do, a couple quick pieces of housekeeping. Today after the call, we have our shift series starting with James Shaw at 9 o'clock. The link for that is posted in the chat to this call, so you can copy and paste that and jump right in after we get done here. I encourage you all to do that. It's going to be an amazing workshop. We have some other great people on the call this week, later in the week. I see Jamie there. Jamie's got a couple of great guests that aren't with our office going to be on the call Thursday and Friday. Big producers, very, very successful agents in our market. They're not with our office, but they still want to get on here and share with you guys and meet you and kind of let you know what they're doing. So do you want to tell everybody a little bit about who's going to be on the call, Jamie, real quick? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. There you go.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. If you guys saw the flyer, Joanne is a $25 million agent, and that's without a team. She's a single agent, so she's super excited. And then the Turners, I think everybody's pretty familiar with the Turners, so they own Turner Realty, so they're going to be jumping on as well. So super excited about them.
Awesome. And then tomorrow we have Ron Pepka from the Bradenton office. He's, of course, one of our owners as well. And then Wednesday, we have the Uglics. Jessica and Mirko Uglick are going to jump on. So we've got a great lineup this week. So let's start off with Stephanie. Stephanie was at a virtual marketing conference for 2 days last week, and she said she got a ton of awesome information around social media technology, using video in your marketing strategies right now. And I asked her if she would share, because all of us need to get really good with that stuff right now, because of the climate we're in and the environment we're finding ourselves work in. And she offered to share. So I'll just let you kind of take it away, Steph. And if you guys have questions, unmute yourself, ask your question, and unmute yourself again, please.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So I went to, Kim and I, supposed to be in New York. Obviously that did not happen. And we took Tom Ferry's Marketing Edge, which I think some of you have even taken yourselves already. And we were concerned at first that the material might not be relevant to the time that we're in, but they completely changed the course, and we were very happy that it is. And he kind of just went verbatim about a lot of things that he's seeing. He had a couple of really great panelists and mega agents zoom into our call and talk about what they're doing. So I'm going to talk about a couple of my big ahas from what I saw. And the first thing that he said was that he's been telling his clients to do is to throw their current business plans away. And I thought that was a pretty powerful statement right off the bat, because he said, obviously everything is so different. And if you have drip plans, campaigns, things like that running, which most of us should, that everything should be paused right now, because the more you're sounding robotic, the less genuine it's going to sound. And you're going to start to get a bad response from that pretty immediately. And not even a negative, but we were seeing a little bit of a drop in responses, even from our simple campaigns that were going out, because they're saying, this is a good time to buy. So look closely at what you're sending. I would say right now, pause that and create some stuff that you can send out. If you're doing large blasts, make sure it's relevant to everybody. You don't know what everyone's going through right now, so you do have to be extra cautious. He did say that a lot of us try and be a little bit funny in our marketing, and right now you have to be really careful with that as well. Yes, maybe you can make some jokes about like your personal quarantine, but err very much on the side of caution when making jokes about like the health crisis in general, because you don't know who has had a terrible experience with it so far. So that was something I caught immediately, because sometimes I try and throw humor in my marketing, so I had to take a step back with that as well. So we are now doing our plans 30 days or even less at a time, as much as daily, weekly. So we're trying to get as small as possible with what we're sending out. And yes, it's a little bit more time consuming, but a lot of us have nothing but time at home. So this is the time to be making your videos, making your posts and scheduling them, really digging into Command and seeing that they have a post scheduler for you. So time block your day to spend a couple hours a day where you were maybe out on appointments, and take that time instead and make a couple videos. With the videos, they are getting better exposure than anything. The algorithms for almost all social media channels that can have videos, those are going to give you the best exposure. And with that, even especially lives. So a lot of us don't like being live, myself included. Kieran knows that. But you have to. they want you to be as real as possible on these channels. And the more you do that, the more they're going to say this person is relevant. And so how social media works is if you have a post and you have engagement, if you have likes and comments and all of that, they're going to say, oh, people like this. We want to show this to more people. So if you ever notice, once you start getting a couple comments on a post and a couple likes, all of a sudden you have 30, 40 comments. That's because they're saying, let's push this out to more people. People seem to like this material, but you have to continue to do so. So if you do one post and then all of a sudden you don't post for a couple of days, your ratings with social media are going to go down and your next post is not going to get as much. So you have to continue this. And I would say what they say is about 1 post per day per channel. And again, keep making sure that you're asking open-ended questions, just like you would in a regular conversation. You want people to talk on all this. I know it might seem silly to get people to like your stuff and comment on your stuff, but that's how you keep people engaged. And that's how they see that as people liking everything.
Stephanie, which social media channels should agents be engaging with right now? Like, what's the best return? If are you shooting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok? Like, what are you guys doing?
TikTok is actually rising very, very rapidly right now. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with that. It's kind of like a combination of a couple different ones. It's short little videos similar to Snapchat. They usually have a music background in it. And yes, the main majority of users is 18 to 24, but the 24 to 40 in the US jumped like 50% just in very, very recently. So if you haven't got that, download it, kind of play with it a little bit and start using it. It is going to be the next big social media channel for sure, but Facebook is still king. And right now, your pay-per-click on Facebook is lower than ever. So you're getting more impressions, more leads, and anything than right now. And why not do it right now? Because everybody's online. Every person's online social media right now, more than ever.
Yeah, and even before all this happened, where more people were spending more time online, KW told us at Family Reunion they were generating leads through Facebook on average across the entire platform, tens of thousands of agents using it at about $1.80 per lead, which is crazy low. So, Joe, did you have a question? You jumped in there for a second.
Yeah, what kind of content are they telling you to share with people out there, Stephanie?
So what I'm sharing then and what I'm sharing now is you just have to be very purposeful and like coming from contribution. I'm going to use Laura as an example. What she said last week, that her team is sending out videos based on what their degrees are. So whether it's homeschooling or this, I think that's a brilliant idea because it makes you humanized and then it helps. So you have to think, I saw a couple emails go out. What are some great ways to work from home right now? Like, what are you seeing that works? Everyone's working from home, or majority of people, not everyone. So if you can take some tips and be like, oh, what am I doing that's working? And share time blocking skills or things like that. That's really helpful. We have to remember that not everyone knows how to do that. And with people that have kids at home, I feel for them because I don't know how they're managing with everything. And so things like that, think of what would be helpful for you in this time. And it's probably helpful for majority of your clients as well. So I would just say, make sure you're not robotic. Make sure that it's like behind the scenes almost too. Everyone's saying that the behind the scenes and the real you is what's working in this time. So to show them what you're doing, sometimes I'll take a video of scanning through my MLS or just things like that. Just whatever you do during the day and also whatever you like. So we got to zoom in with Tyler, who is a mega agent in New York. You may have even seen his videos, his listing videos. They're incredible. I'll post one on our Facebook page later because he is just blowing up in the past year. And he is an equestrian. So he bought a horse and he dove into that. So now he does everything with that. So whatever you do, if maybe you don't want to put your kids on there, but if you don't mind sharing your family, then share your family and just pick whatever means the most to you that you want to share about yourself, because that's going to come through as the most real and people are going to see that and you're going to get a really good response in my eyes.
Yeah, I think that's really true. So, for example, for those of you who know who Abe Shreve is, he's the leader of MAPS Business Coaching, and he's very active on social media, and it's usually around two things: coaching or rock climbing. That's his thing that he likes to do, right? And I see him on there all the time, and I'll skim through. But in the last week or so, his family, just so you know, is a very outdoorsy family, right? They're always in their van, going to the park, going rock climbing, doing stuff, whatever. You never see pictures of them in their house. So they're all going nuts right now because they're all stuck in the house. So they've started doing these every couple days. The whole family's like dressing up like the Addams Family or the Brady Bunch, or just getting weird and funky. And he's posting that sort of stuff. And he is getting so much more engagement on those posts than he is on his coaching posts or whatever, because they're fun and quirky and a little bit lighthearted and behind the scenes, like Stephanie said. So that's a great tip.
That, and then telling people what's in the market right now is what we're seeing is working a lot. So just updating people constantly on saying that there still is activity, showing them real numbers instead of them going off data that they're assuming and they're hearing from the media is working as well. And sharing that across all your channels. Most people think that you have to change your content for the channels, but you don't. You just have to change it to fit the channel and post it everywhere. You're not gonna overshow. You want someone to say, the goal is for someone to say, wow, I see you everywhere. I see your stuff everywhere. It's not a bad thing. It's wonderful, because then they're gonna constantly remember you with real estate, you with real estate. And that's what you want. You want to continually be in people's minds no matter what. Like even they say about postcards. Well, yeah, even if you get a postcard and you throw in the trash once a month, you still remember when you pick up eventually those colors and that name, you know what that is, even if they're tossing it away. It's just putting yourself out there for muscle memory for these people.
So I know we have kind of a good mix on the call of social media experts, like, you know, you, Laura, Jamie, different people on the call that are very engaged in social media. And then we have some people who maybe haven't dug into it as much. Can you give them a couple like action items that they, you know, maybe they're not going to become experts in the next week, but what are a few things they could start doing right now to increase their presence, their social media presence with their clients, that kind of thing?
Okay, I would say if you're on your Instagram, if you have a personal page, I would switch that to a business page. And it is just going on your account, going under settings, and hitting switch to professional or to business. That's all you have to do. And when you do that, it makes it so you can click like what your service is. That's how you see public figure or product or service is what mine is. And it makes it so you can see your insights on your posts. And that's how you can also boost your posts on your Instagram page. You cannot do that if you are just a regular page without it being business. And then you can see how many men, how many women, what age group, how many people have liked, how many impressions are on there. And you can really monitor what's happening on your page for free. So that's something actionable. I did that and then immediately linked it with a new personal or a business Facebook page. If you don't have a business Facebook page, it also takes just 1 minute to make. I would highly do that because Instagram is owned by Facebook. I don't know if everybody knows that. So they talk together very well. So everything that you post, they're not going to conflict you from posting one to the other. They love the engagement back and forth. So you're just going to get more the more that you post on both pages. I would say make sure you're hitting both because you'll see your engagement rise, and make sure that you're switched to business to follow your insights. And then you can see what time of day too. So you can say, okay, my people at 6 o'clock all seem to be liking, okay, well, I'm going to post up at 6 o'clock at night then. Or if you're seeing, okay, majority of my people are this or whatever, try to think of, okay, well, if it's this age at this time, what am I seeing that they're liking that I post? That was very helpful for me.
So they could even create a second Instagram account if they didn't want to convert their personal one, right? Just
Absolutely.
for business.
Yes.
Karen, I have a question for Stephanie.
Yeah.
Can you touch base on whether or not you should be posting that kind of content on your personal or your business page, or both?
Yes. So some people may see different. I say both because they say that the algorithm on your personal page is that you shouldn't post business content. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So the stuff that you're talking about posting, like the raw footage of your family, are they saying to post that on your business account?
A little bit, a mix of both. I mean, it should be not all, they say it should, your business page should even only be a certain percentage of what you're posting business anyway. So it should be a good mix of relevant content, things like that, a little bit of personal, and then always share it to your personal page. You can go back and forth because on your personal page, if they flag it as business, they may boot it out. But if you're so intertwined with your business and it is a part of your life, then they might not catch that it's business. As long as it's not just a listing video 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like very obvious. But if you're there and you're seeing people get so creative lately about what they're doing, and that's what people are looking for, is the creative aspect of listing videos, purchase videos when you're out and about. That's what we're seeing that people really like. Did I answer the question? Okay.
Andy, do you want to ask your question? Andy Scherer, just put the question in chat, or I can read it for you.
Will you read it? I don't think I
Hey, good morning, everybody. Way to call me out, Kieran. I love that. I send this private message to this guy so he can go ahead and repeat it. So he's like,
It's
go
your
ahead.
question, and it's a great question. You should get credit for it.
And he
Oh,
did his hair for
I'm
the
not looking for credit. This is about everyone, right? We're benefiting everybody here. Doesn't matter who it comes from. So I know you guys would agree with me. All right, so here we go. Ready? Stephanie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Morning.
Awesome. Yes, you are. So my question would be, it's kind of twofold, right? So perhaps you could walk us through a conversion approach or approaches that you may be aware of, or maybe you've even used, that showed up successful, right? And you know, you might even have a couple of stories to share where you may have learned something valuable from that you'd like to be able to share with us.
Are you saying for like the things that I run and things?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a social media piece, right? That you might have used, and then you've had some contact with someone maybe you had not known before, and there might have been an approach or two that you might have used to convert that lead opportunity into business.
Okay. I try and ask a lot of open-ended questions to get engagement, or post things such, even on my Instagram, taking a poll. So I'll say who, you know, simple things like who is in their dream house right now? Who can honestly say that they are? Yes or no? Every single person that answers, whether it's yes or no, I'm going to send a direct message to and talk to with them about that. Oh, that's wonderful. Where do you live? Or if no, that's obviously a wonderful opportunity to say, oh, well, where would it be? Well, you know, have you thought about what steps it would take to get there? Things like that. So I do a lot of that. And as far as Facebook, it's the same thing. So in my comments, I'll ask very open-ended things, some personal, but then if it's business, similar things, even just to say, I mean, the home value one, I did, and we all get a good response from that. I got a really good response when I run campaigns for things like that. Do you know the value of your home? I'll try and put a little bit of a personal twist on it. And it's crazy, but just the images and things you're posting, just to make your post visibly attractive when you're putting things out there, so people aren't scrolling right past it. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's the truth. And then just making sure that you're following up with these people and having regular conversations, and not always sounding so automated, I would say.
Awesome. Hey, thanks a lot for doing this, by the way. I should have led with that.
Thank you. And I told Kieran, I mean, if we wanted to do something and go into like a screen share to show you, to go through how to post, you know, a Facebook ad through the business page and all that, that's, you know, kind of heavy stuff, and probably not for right now if everyone didn't have their notebook out, but I'd be more than happy to do that too.
Yeah, we could do like an online class or something later on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So who else, guys? Kim, you participated in this 2-day event also. Is there anything that really stuck out for you that Stephanie hasn't hit on yet?
No, she's hit everything. I mean, we talked last night a little bit about some talking points and things too. And they're saying, you know, don't stop your marketing, you know, come with an aggressive service approach. So in the content that you're putting out there, be aggressive in your service. So make sure that the people that are looking at you and watching you online and things too, know that you're still here and you're really passionate about things, and that you're really, what do they call us, be a digital mayor. So be out there and post that, and really come, it's all about the content. And that, you know, if you come up with some great content, we told our team the other day, you know, come up with some great content and then take that content and put it out everywhere so that you don't have to recreate it. Another good tip would be is, you know, if we're all home and you've got some downtime, especially if the kids are home with you and you've got some downtime, do your videos all at that time. They don't always, live is great, but we're not always able to do live. So if you can video yourself and do some of that and then schedule that content to put out there. But really, it's really about the content. Give them things to do, 5 good feel-good movies, or, things to do at home with your kids. Again, Laura's got some great stuff that's going on there, is coming to people as the expert in whatever it is that they're an expert in. And the other thing was be real. Before all the Zoom calls happened, you never would have saw me on video. Never, ever. And I think this is really teaching me how to be in front of people. So I think other people might be struggling with that. So you can show the real you there too and say, hey, I hate this. I've got my hat on and I'm still
Love
here. So, so just show the real you. Be the real you behind the scenes. Here's how we sell houses now. Here's how we do this now. So people want to see that.
Yeah. And I think for those of you who haven't dove in yet, if you're going to go schedule a bunch of video posts and set up all your social media stuff ahead of time, just go in and try using the post scheduler or the campaigns in Command, because what that will do for you to help give you some time back is you don't have to worry about figuring out the demographics and all that sort of stuff, because Command and the Kelly algorithm figures all that out for you, and it places the ad where it needs to be, and it does it in real time. So it's making adjustments as the ad is live. It's actually tweaking all of that stuff and moving it, doing different things, which you can't do if you just go on Facebook and do it. It's kind of like a fire and forget. Let's see how this performs. So now that we have some extra time in our hands, it's a great opportunity to learn how to use that tool, because it really does raise your engagement, your impressions, and just kind of takes that to the next level for you.
Absolutely. I mean, we were getting between 7,000 to 10,000 impressions per campaign. We run them for between 4 days to 7 days. And right now, ones that I'm running, I ran a couple of days ago for 4 days. I've probably gotten 20 to 30 leads off of. So people are definitely, and real, I'm showing property to these people as well. So they're not just out there. So the conversion rates are even getting better in my eyes right now.
That's awesome. So someone else we have on the call who's very engaged with social media is our team leader, Jamie. And I was wondering if you had any either insights or questions to offer up around, social media, online presence, video, that sort of stuff. I need to go into that.
Hey, good morning. I think what I know for me, I've been pretty involved with social media for a while, is that you stay authentic to yourself and to what you're, just like what Kieran was saying earlier, as far as what you're passionate about, where you connect with the audience, because you don't want to look like everybody else. So I had a lot of people I know that said, oh, Jamie, you need to do this different or that different. But when my son, Sam, who is a genius in social media, they did a kind of like a little study on my Facebook page, my Instagram, to see where the algorithms were. What they showed me was, and this is just relating to me, so it can maybe relate to you, is that the more bold I am with my posting, the more engagement that my particular audience likes. Very bold things said, very, very bold. And so I think, for each of you to stay authentic to who you are, not to try to be like, everyone else. Find that niche, like what Laura's doing and Stephanie's doing, or anyone else that's doing that, and really be whatever you're passionate about and follow that, and then relate it to your real estate is what I would suggest that you do, for sure.
I agree completely.
And then a couple questions from the chat. So Jennifer, you asked what programs are people using to schedule content? I think we just talked about using Command to do that. There are some third-party ones out there that you can use, like Hootsuite and stuff. The thing about Command, though, is it's built for real estate, realtors, and it's built to be highly, highly efficient around the types of things you're posting and the traction you're looking to get out of them. So I would start there. If you have any trouble, contact me, contact Stephanie, Tim, Lauren, and we'll help you through that.
We have a deal with Facebook too, correct? That Facebook makes
sure. Yeah, we have a partnership with Facebook. And Facebook actually said that our algorithm is outperforming their algorithm for real estate posts. Mm-hmm. So why would you use theirs? They told us that at Family Reunion. Jen Bowman, you have a question. If you want to unmute yourself about automated listing. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. So if you just want to unmute yourself and ask your question, go ahead and do that.
Okay, thank you. Stephanie, you mentioned turning off our automated campaigns, or putting them on pause for now. Mm-hmm. What about our listing alerts where we say we're happy to research and show you these properties? What should we do with that?
I keep those. That's what I'm hearing from all of the mega agents that were on the panel, is to keep those, because people are home and they still want to see that. It's just bombarding people with things that don't seem, what am I trying to say?
Relevant.
That aren't
Relevant.
relevant right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think probably the message there is we don't want to seem, and we're not, right? The great thing about our company and our agents is we're always coming from contribution. We don't want to seem opportunistic
Yes.
in a time of stress
Exactly.
and difficulty for people. So whereas your marketing strategy before may have been, you know, it's a hot market, I can help you find the home of your dreams, I can help you sell your home and, you know, achieve that goal, whatever that might, that was coming from contribution at that time because that person had a goal and you were trying to help them reach that goal. Right now, people's priorities have shifted. So, you know, we need to shift what we're doing to match, I think is what Stephanie's saying. So coming from contribution now is, and we keep using this example, Laura having her MBA, you know, person on her team that's got a master's degree in education, getting on and helping parents that are struggling with, the heck do I do with all these freaking kids running around my house right now, right? That's coming from contribution now. So I think the message is we just have to shift a little bit to match the shift that our clients have had in their world. We still need to offer service, right? Hey, let me help you with homeschooling your kids, and I'm still a realtor. Hey, let me help you figure out how to time block your day and work more efficiently from home, and I'm still a realtor, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea, I think.
Exactly. The more we stay in front of people, the more that they're going to remember when all this is over, and remember your face. Because with us not being out in the public so much, you need to still keep your face in front of people as much as possible.
Stephanie, I have a question. Did they mention LinkedIn? And then the other thing is that I know that I get a lot of great feedback when I do my story, when rather than just making a post, but really doing stories.
Oh, I'm glad you
So
said
did-
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So stories on Facebook and Instagram, hopefully everyone is familiar with that, they do get more attention right now than the feed. So of course it is important to post things to your feed, so actual posts, but stories, the video lasts 15 seconds and they're finding people, 80% of people watch the whole thing. So yes, and you should be posting at least 3 a day to those. So yeah, absolutely. I'd probably use that more than anything, and it gets more attention. So
And I know I use my story a lot too. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. But what about LinkedIn for the professionals that are connected to that?
You do use LinkedIn. I would say pick one channel if you're not a social media guru and really dive into one at first. But if you can tackle LinkedIn for business, it's wonderful. It's a little bit different, so the content is more business minded, but you're going to make a lot more easier connections with people who are willing to meet up with you. I've made a lot of great business to business connections. That's where all of mine come from, is LinkedIn.
Yeah, me too. I love LinkedIn. Yeah.
One thing I learned about LinkedIn when I was at the conference in Vegas was LinkedIn's an awesome platform. So for a team leader who's looking to maybe recruit and that kind of thing,
Absolutely.
you can get a ton of traction there. For the agents, they get a lot more traction on the Facebooks, the Instagrams.
LinkedIn is the most expensive as well to advertise, and it's a little bit more complicating. So if you're looking for the most bang for your buck, I would say Facebook is still the one.
For agents, yeah.
For agents.
All right, I have time for one more question. We are going to finish on time today because we have to jump right over to shift. So whoever has the best question, go. Come on, guys, don't let her off the hook. All right, I'm going to ask a question. Stephanie, so I love all the content you shared today. Can we get together later and talk about when we could maybe do some kind of webinar for the office around some of the stuff you're talking about? Here's what a story is and how you use it, because not every people are operating at different levels on social media, right? So
Exactly.
here's what a story is, here's how you use it, here's how you can build and schedule posts ahead of time in Command, that sort of stuff. Could we do a webinar on that coming up?
Absolutely. I'm going to post a comment on our Facebook page and say, what would someone like to learn on social media? And then you guys can drop your answers and I can kind of formulate a class around that. I mean, I have things I could share, but if there's stuff that majority of people are all looking to learn, then I want to make sure I hit on that as well.
Okay. All right, everybody, go look in the chat window. The very first post from Joe Harris is the link for the Shift series that's starting in 1 minute. So I won't end our meeting just yet, but you guys can go ahead and log out once you grab that link, log into the other meeting, and we'll see you all on there. So have a great day.
job,
Thank you
Steph.
so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Awesome job, Steph.